Good morning. Good morning from cloudy Japan.
Good morning.
What are you up to today?
Today I'm actually doing a bit of housekeeping before I put some filler on the rear bumper. But I've made quite a bit of a mess and I haven't had a chance to tidy up all the junk, so I'm just doing that now and I can get on with my day.
And what were you explaining to me about the filler the other about the heat and the first time that was it filler or something?
Yeah, I've had a bit of an issue with the weather. The other day it hit 47 degrees and I really need to start putting some body filler on Project BedBug. Fillers have an operating temperature and it certainly isn't 47 degrees, and I did wonder what would happen if I started using body filler in extreme temperatures. So I have actually started using a bit of fiberglass and a bit of filler on one of the wings just to test to see if it's going to be okay, and it seems to be okay, but obviously with body filler it goes off super quick anyway, and at 47 degrees I'm having to work really fast to get it on the panel before it cures. So I did a little bit of a test and hopefully we're going to be okay.
Hi Brad. Brad's from South Georgia, USA.
How you doing?
Is it night time there?
What time is it there?
I think it's 17 hours or something. There's quite what was the bit that you showed me yesterday? Was it round here? Did you put it back on?
Was it
here, this one. So this was your kind of trial thing.
It was a trial on the body filler at 47 degree temperature to see if I can actually get it to work, and it seems to be okay. So I think we're all good to go. I'm putting body filler on Project BedBug quite soon.
Oh, Brad said this is his favourite stream. That's sweet, isn't it?
Thanks.
Should I quickly go out and show that insect?
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to show you, and this isn't related to cars, but just quickly, because we've had this insect on our door, and it's been there for 24 hours now. It's just, I don't know how they go without water and food, but he's just chilling out on this, I think it's called a praying mantis. In Japanese, it's called kamakiri. But he's just been there. He's moved about a little bit, but he's just chilling out there. I think maybe it's really, really hot. Hi, B-side girlfriend. It's really hot. So I think he just wants to get a little bit. Hi, Lil Woobly. Oh, Brandon said that it's his favourite stream to watch while he's pooping.
Hey!
Yeah, I just showed.
That's awesome.
She said it's a grasshopper. I think it's a praying mantis, isn't it? The grasshoppers are quite small out here. But this one it doesn't want to move, does it?
No, he seems to have made his little home there, and he doesn't want to go anywhere. So, hey, everyone's welcome.
Haley said it's a praying mantis. Yeah, that's right. We don't really get them in the UK, do we?
I've not seen one in the UK.
No.
I mean, there's possible that they're there, but just never noticed them. I mean, here nature is everywhere in Japan. There's lizards and all sorts of weird creatures dancing around. So.
What is 47 in Fahrenheit?
Oh, I can Google that.
Could you have a Google? Sorry.
I can have a Google.
We still think in the UK terms. So we've had quite an eventful week. We went to a couple of festivals this week. We went to one really kind of traditional fireworks show, and the fireworks are huge. They hold them like this, but basically they light them up and they hold them until they go off. It's a little bit scary to watch, but obviously they're professionals. But we're going to share that a bit on the next video. 47 in Fahrenheit.
47 degrees Celsius is 116.6 Fahrenheit.
That sounds a lot worse, doesn't it?
It sounds worse, yeah. Yeah. I mean, 47 degrees is ridiculous, really, especially for working in I mean, at the moment it's quite cool. It's morning time. It's around 9 o'clock. So currently 34.4 degrees with the windows and doors open. And it's only going to get hotter. Today's going to be 40 degrees. So that means in the workshop we're probably going to be hitting 46, 47 degrees again.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you look like you've been in the steam room, don't you, when you come in and
Yeah,
out?
I've lost a lot of weight since I've been working in this workshop.
Maybe that's a diet I need to do. Yeah, so we're kind of drinking, John is drinking lots of sports drinks, aren't you? Just to keep, out here they have a lot of, in the summer they bring out all these sports drinks, but also they bring out salt tablets just to keep your salt levels up. And you did a community weeding on Sunday, didn't you?
Yeah,
and what did they have there?
So I do, it's quite a few times a year, the locals all gather together and we clean the roads, we clean the parks, mainly weeding. There's no rubbish or anything like that. And they start at 6 o'clock in the morning where it's a little bit cooler, but that's ridiculously early for me because I have to get up at like 5:15, which is too early. And they supply all sorts of foods and snacks, and they all contain a ridiculous amount of salt. So there was a lot of pickled cucumbers and little, what's in boshi? Plums.
Yeah, pickled,
plums.
and you said aubergine as well.
Yeah, salted aubergine and sweets that just look like candy, but they have a massive salt content. So I think a lot of people they try to put the salt back into their body, as well as that loads of water and sports drinks and things like that to keep you going. And that's I think I'm the youngest one there. I think probably the average age of people doing that kind of thing is probably 70, something like that. But they work so hard, just making the place look really tidy and nice for everybody else to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really nice, but it's an obligation, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to do it if you live in this area. Hi, Brad. Yeah, it's really humid here as well. Jim Hoop says, so cool, the bug truck is amazingly hot. Keep it real and take care. So, Brad, we've actually got, it's called a spouse or, what is it? Spouse or child of a Japanese national visa. So I know most people don't have that. We're quite lucky because your mum's Japanese and my mum's Japanese, so that was the easiest visa for us to get. But I think at the moment, where the declining population, they're trying to encourage more foreigners to come in. I did have a look on the Japanese embassy website, and it will list all the different occupations where you'd be eligible to have a visa, basically. So if you are interested in coming to Japan or moving to Japan kind of semi-permanently, then it's probably best to look on the Japanese embassy website, and then you'll be able to find the list of occupations. Oh, please do, Brad. Brad was saying, cool, Japan seems so cool, would love to visit.
Yeah, I think everybody that visits Japan, I've never heard anyone say any negative comments. Well, apart from silly things that
Hi,
are
Mohammed.
quite irrelevant, aren't they? Like having to take your rubbish home and things like that. And,
Yeah.
Stuff that shouldn't really be an issue, but the lack of bins is one of the top things that people that visit Japan.
There's no bins, basically.
Basically, there are no bins, trash cans, or whatever you want to call them. If you create your own rubbish, you take it home with you and you dispose of it accordingly. And that's the way it's always been around here. But a lot of people that have never been here before might find that a little bit odd that there are no bins. I mean, there are convenience stores where they have bins to, put your rubbish in, something that you've consumed at the store itself. But there are no, in the UK, there's bins everywhere, normally overflowing, but there are bins.
Yeah, they are.
There are bins everywhere. And but as there are no bins and people take their rubbish home, there's generally in most areas there's no litter on the floor. There's no cans, there's no paper, there's no fag butts or anything like that. It is clean, and they like it that way.
Yeah, also, when we went to a festival, they actually handed out plastic bags, didn't they? So that we could take our rubbish home.
Right.
And it's really important. Littering is really bad over here. And to be honest, it's so clean that it almost makes you feel guilty for littering. But it's not, it goes even as far as if you see some litter, you feel like picking it up. Because obviously some people, maybe naughty teenagers, or even just by mistake.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes rubbish will blow away or whatever.
But in the UK, where I lived in London, it was so dirty that it's almost like you don't notice it anymore.
Yeah, you become a bit blind to it, I reckon. Yeah.
Mohammed says he loves Japan. He's a Gambian. Have you come to Japan before, Mohammed? It'll be, is it September 26th, our 2-year anniversary in Japan?
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah, so it's almost been 2 years now since we've moved.
Yeah.
And
we're getting accustomed to everything, but we still haven't kind of checked out. There's so much stuff to see and do that we'd really love to, wouldn't we? We'd love to properly explore Japan, all the corners. But yeah, that's something that we can look forward to.
I think slowly, especially now that these festivals are on, we're making a bit more effort to not just work and make the most of these festivals that are going on during the summer.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
It's like every weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not just festivals. A lot of people that come to Japan probably won't even see a festival. They'll do the main, the tourist things, but what people don't understand is some of the most beautiful, amazing things are actually hidden away from tourists. You've got to go out there and find it, and there's some really, really cool stuff.
Stephen says, hey brother, how are you? And Brad says, would you ever consider doing a full new build of a BedBug from start to finish if you could?
Right, first question. Yeah, I'm doing okay, thanks. We're doing all right. I would love to do a scratch-built car, full stop. I mean, I've been lucky enough in the past to be able to do massive restorations where full nut and bolt, open checkbook on things like show Volkswagen Beetles and buses and things like that. But nothing that I've done absolutely from scratch. I mean, I would love to make my own chassis. I'd love to make all my own body panels and stuff. Obviously, I'm not fully equipped and I probably don't have the intelligence yet to perform something like that, but in the future that would be absolutely amazing. A total one-off custom built BedBug with everything, scratch built would just be insane.
So if you were doing your own BedBug, would you do the same? Would you put those windows at the top, and would you do the same things and the coolers, and or how would you?
The weird thing is, I never even thought about putting skylight windows in a project like this. I've never had to install anything like that. I've never been asked to, so that's been really cool. The back window thing, I probably would have done something similar. Maybe even an oval window, don't know, but if it's totally custom, but I do think that looks good. I think the back end would look different because obviously this is the back end of an American car that's been grafted on many years ago. So maybe, I wouldn't have this and I'd have to fabricate something myself. But something that I wouldn't want to do is create something that's a copy of something that's already in existence.
Do you think this is totally original then, this design, or do you think?
I think with BedBug, I think with the rear end and these sides, and it being an oval with skylights, I think it's totally one-off. I don't think there's one out there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in the future people will see this and may want to copy this car, but as far as I know, what I know about Volkswagens, I've never seen anything like this car. So it is totally unique.
Mohammed says he's a welder. Jim says, it seems like the festival floats meander through a town. I'm used to a designated parade route, but your festivals don't seem that way. I would say that a lot of the festivals, they send out maps of their routes, so I think they are very fixed before they go out, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think they're totally random because that would probably cause a lot of traffic problems. But they are kind of organised, aren't they?
Yeah, so was it last week or a couple of weeks ago, my cousin said the float is going to pass my house at 3. And of course, 3 o'clock, it was there. So it's very, very planned. They have to organise all the routes. And then the people, because it's very, very hot, the people who just want to come out and see it know what time to come out. What is the back end of that bug?
The back end of BedBug, well, it never had a back end. When I received it, it had, when I first saw BedBug, it had a sheet of metal with loads of loops on there, some late beetle lights hanging off it, and it was totally rotten. It was unusable, so the customer sent it with no back end at all. So the back end on this is something that we completely fabricated from nothing, using an early bus engine lid, and then we've created a framework around it, and then made panels to go around that. So the back end, I didn't realise this until after it was kind of put together. It does look a little bit like something like a single cab, double cab pickup, an early one like a splitty. The back end actually does look like that with the drop sides, but without the drop sides. So that's really kind of cool. It's still in keeping with the Volkswagen shape, but the back end is totally fabbed up. So it's not something that you can buy off the shelf.
Chris says, you're obviously a VW nut like myself. What is your favourite model? Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, and what vintage?
Oh, yes, I am a VW nut, but actually I am more of a car nut. It doesn't stop at Volkswagens. It could be anything that I feel that is cool. When it comes to Volkswagens, I had a huge passion for Mark 1 Golfs for quite a while. I owned quite a few Mark 1 Golfs, and I did love them to bits. Now they've become a little bit unaffordable. I did go through a spate of Mark II Golfs with that I was putting 180 engines in to make them a little bit faster. I loved those. They were really great. But I have had some early Beetles. I have a soft spot for early Beetles. But one car that I had to get rid of before we went was actually a 70s Beetle that I made to look a lot older, fiberglass flip front, total raced out. But what I did is I put a Subaru Impreza WRX engine in the back with way too much power, with a modified WRX gearbox running backwards, and I pretty much spent all my time and money on this Beetle, made it undrivable, but unfortunately I did have to sell it. But that has been one of my favourite ones. It's been an over-modified creation from my head when I was a little bit drunk probably. Maybe not something that I do again. As I said, it was a totally undrivable car.
Probably the best ideas when you come when you're drunk.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're running out of project ideas, just hit the bottle for a bit and you'll come up with some great ideas with you and your mates, and then just get the welder out and see what happens.
I hope you don't burn your hands.
So yeah, I think yeah, Mark 1 Golf and early Beetles are my thing personally.
What was that red one? Is that a Volkswagen?
The Beetle that I got rid of?
No, the one that's in the garden. The overgrown one.
Oh, no, yeah, one of the cars I did keep was an old P100 Ford Sierra-based pickup truck. And in the UK, they were just a workhorse, but my one, obviously, I modified it a lot, and it was running a V6 engine with a turbo and everything else like that. And I've still got it in the UK, and maybe in the future we'll be able to post it over to Japan and probably have a total one-off car. Maybe you think about restoring it. It is an old Ford, and they do love to rust just like old Volkswagens, so that'd be a good restoration project as well. Yeah.
I'm just going to get my towel because it's really hot and I'm getting a bit sweaty. Has anyone else got any questions about the cars or life in Japan or moving to Japan, buying property in Japan, anything like that? Where's my mask?
Health and safety.
What about me?
Do you want a mask?
No, I'm not. Hi, Punto. People mainly rent in Japan. even people, you know, citizens here, especially young people, I think most traditionally people rent until, is it called a golden handshake? When they finish their job, retire.
Yeah, and you get a wad of cash. Thanks for your service.
When you finish working, when you retire, you usually get a really big lump sum of money. Traditionally, I think maybe things are changing a little, and it's usually at that time that people buy a house. But the reason why we decided to buy a house here was because we wanted, because obviously, you know, this workshop and everything like that, it would be really difficult if, for example, they needed their house back in a couple of years and we had to move everything. And we are planning to stay here quite long term, we're hoping anyway. Obviously not 100% sure yet, but that's the idea. So that was the reason why we decided to buy here. What's the next project? Do you have one lined up? Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm always looking out for another project, and the guy that I'm doing the pickup truck for has actually sent me a couple of photos of two amazing projects. Obviously, I've still got a way to go. On the back burner, I mean, one of them is Volkswagen based, and the other one is a late 70s, early 80s Japanese car, sports car. So we don't know what's going on with that.
That one gave you heart palpitations, didn't it?
Yeah, one of my favourites. I do get excited when I start a project. I mean, the thing is with projects, another thing you need to understand is anyone out there can start a project. That's not the difficult thing. The difficult thing is actually finishing it. You will kind of have this massive enthusiasm kind of spurt at the start, and then you kind of hit some walls. But the trick is just to keep on plodding on and just get over that, and then it's on the homeward straight. So with something like BedBug, that's had a lot of work, and it still needs to do the bodywork stage. But once the car's in primer, I do feel that's when I've broken the back of it.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, and then
this is actually, for me, it's the first time that I'm seeing you actually.
You've never seen me what I do in here or what I've done in the past. I just kind of go to work and come home, and that's it. So this is quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is not something you've seen before.
Jim Hoop says, I too have a love for the bug. Have you any knowledge, experience, or appreciation for the Formula V?
Oh, Formula V stuff. I really wanted, back in the day to kind of dabble with it, but it never went any further than that. I thought it was amazing how they could take those little flat four engines and make them rev so high and have, that amount of power. And yeah, it's really interesting stuff, Formula V. I don't know how big it is in the UK anymore. In fact, I don't know how big it is in Japan. It'd be interesting to check out Formula V stuff, or any type of Volkswagen racing, actually.
I've never heard of it. Is there an American car you have on your dream list to restore?
Oh, God. Yeah, I've owned one American car back in the day, and that was a Chevy truck. It's like a short wheelbase Chevy Silverado, and it was jacked up with the big wheels, and yeah, loved it. But if I was to do one myself, I'm going to have to kind of go with the flow and everyone else's kind of popular thing. I do like, muscle cars, something with a V8, something that's cool, Charger, Challenger, Mustang, those kind of cars. There's something about that era, the shape, the noise. They may not be the fastest in the world, but I think on the coolness scale, those kind of American muscle cars they're up there for me.
What's a muscle car?
A muscle car is, in America, when they went a bit nuts and they created some very powerful cars, and they put large engines in there, a lot of power. The handling was sometimes debatable, but the way they actually took off and went, and the noise was amazing. So basically you had your family car, and then they did a really spicy version of the same thing, and that's what I'd like.
Brad said agreed.
Yeah, there's something about them, isn't there? You know, when the car's just, it looks awesome, it sounds awesome, there's petrol dripping out the exhaust, tyre smoke. It's silly, but it's just something that, you know, a real petrol head we've got to appreciate that.
Yeah, it's funny because obviously we're together, but I can't relate to it at all. Because I always see a car as getting from A to B without any problems.
Yeah, a car to go from A to B is great, but sometimes somebody wants a bit more. They want to go from A to B a lot quicker, or they want to go A to B in style. You know, obviously you've got prestige cars and stuff like that. There's different ways of getting to A to B. Yeah. And then if you've got something like a camper van, it's A to B, but with a massive detour, and then you get to your destination.
Brad says late 60s to mid 70s, big V8 car, mostly 2 doors.
Yes, yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah. And believe it or not, in Japan they have a big following of American cars. I didn't realise this until I started really looking about, but it seems that they imported back in the day a huge amount of American cars, and they still have a passion for it now. I mean, things like a Mark 1 Mustang is going to cost a huge amount of money wherever you are in the world, but in Japan they have them here as well. So it's something good that if I do an American project in the future, that I may be able to get parts for it. So yeah, it's a possibility, isn't it?
And Donald says, will you just be doing the metal work, fabrication, and paint an interior to be done by others?
I will do it all the way up to the paint stage. I'll do the paint stage as well. Yeah, I don't have a problem with painting. I don't have the correct environment, but this car doesn't. This car has to look good. It doesn't have to look absolute show queen. It will be used. But yeah, as for the interior, I'm not sure. When I originally spoke to the customer, I didn't quote for any type of interior work, but to be honest, it's going to be quite easy. It will just have a board that runs on the roof, and it will have a rubber mat and not a carpet set. So it'd just be the case of bolting some seats in. I mean, if he wants to supply seats and me to reupholster them, I'll do that as well, but it's all down to the customer's budget. And maybe he wants to get involved on this project as well and do his little bits. Fine with me.
He did say that he was going to come and visit at some point, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, when the customer, or if the customer does come and visit, I will do a video. I'll see if I can get he hasn't seen this since I've started working on it, so it'd be great to get his impressions on this car. So when he turns up, I'll ask his permission to video him, and I'll put it on
That'd be nice if you could have a little chat as well.
Yeah, we'll have a little interview with him, because the guy is an absolute petrol head. He's a legend in Japan. He's quite famous in what he does. He used to spend a lot of time in America finding American cars and Volkswagens and importing them into Japan and reselling them. And he did that for many, many years, and he's very successful. And now he's at an age where he's starting to wind down a bit, doing less of the work himself, and kind of asking people like me to just, do it on his behalf.
Oh, sorry. There's something jumping around there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I think it's another one of those. Oh, he's trying to get out. Oh, what is it? So sorry, there's something jumping around. Oh, sorry to interrupt. I just saw it out the corner of my eye. Oh, what's this?
Whoa, look at that crazy bug.
Is that a praying mantis again, or is it a...
It's like a kind of grasshopper. Let's put him outside.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, we spoke about praying mantis and grasshoppers earlier, didn't we? That's quite a big one, actually. There we go.
Hopefully he doesn't walk out in the road.
Oh, he's only got one back leg. That's why he was going around in circles. It kind of makes sense now.
Oh.
Bless him.
Sorry, you were saying... sorry, I just saw that...
I don't know what I was saying.
Oh, I forgot as well. Oh, can we get a colour update for the BedBug?
Can we get a...
Colour update.
A colour update. Okay, so originally we didn't know what colour this car was going to be. The customer has mentioned that he wouldn't mind painting it black. Yes, okay, the original front half of the oval was black, and I have an issue with black is that when you paint a car black, it has to be insanely straight, like ridiculously straight. The bodywork has to be almost perfect. Any little imperfections or anything like that, any creases, you will actually see through the paint. So It's not 100% sure. It could go black. It may be a totally different colour.
He does change his mind about things.
He
here
does
and
change
there.
his mind. He's just put that option on the table. He's like, you know, how about black? And we'll see. It could change at any time. I mean, once the car's in primer, it's anyone's guess. But so far, he's thinking of going black for this truck, which will look cool, especially when the Fuchs wheels are black and silver once I've painted those.
They already look nice, don't they?
And having a load of other little
Nicer.
details on there, it could look pretty cool.
Jim says, do you have any idea of the time frame for BedBug get into paint, any stage or steps in the near future? This is what I want to know as well, because then we can go on holiday.
Yeah, once this is done, we're going on holiday. So I've actually started messing around with the filler to see if it works in this kind of extreme temperature. We seem to be okay. So I've got a little bit more repair work to do, and then what I need to do is I need to do something with the bare metal. I've got 2 products I'm using. If it's a nice shiny piece of bare metal, I can then put something like, it's like an epoxy primer. It's designed to go on steel. It's a non-chromium primer, so it should hold back any rust that's going to be underneath. Any panels that are rusty, I've got a special spray that I'm going to put over the top, which is actually a rust treatment, and then I can bodywork over the top of that. Once the bodywork's done, then it's into just shaping it, getting it all nice and straight, getting it into primer. And I could see that kind of process from now to when it's done. It could even take up to a couple of months.
Really?
Depending on how much hours I put into it.
It's difficult with the heat as well, isn't it?
I am actually struggling to do a full day flat out with the temperature. I am working as fast as I can, but I'm also being realistic. When you start to feel very fatigued and tired, you've got to just take a break.
Yeah, and cool down as well.
So what in my head where something, you know, I think, yeah, I'll rattle that off in a couple of hours, it's actually taking a hell of a lot longer. You know, and also, as I said, the products are going to be difficult to use in this type of temperature as well, and that includes paint.
New products for you as well, aren't they? Or
yeah, the fiberglass I'm using is actually a very new product. It's not something that I've used before. I've used a traditional fiberglass paste and hardener, and this seems to be a different type of paste. It's very smooth. It's not a fiberglass reinforced filler. It is fiberglass. It has like a liquid hardener as opposed to a paste one. So I did give it a little bit of a go on this bumper here just to see if it would actually cure okay and how it works. And yeah, it's come out very nice actually. This is the rear bumper that was modified to fit on the back of BedBug, and all I've done is I've just applied some of the fiberglass paste on there just to see how it goes off, how well it can sand, and then on top of that I can obviously bodywork it with my body filler and make it nice and pretty. But yeah, as far as that being a new product and working in this heat, it does. So I'm happy with that. So it's one less thing to worry about.
I think just watching the work and things like that, for me, probably, because I don't really know about cars, but the biggest change that I saw was when the wheels were put on. I was like, wow, you know, and I think the next stage for me would probably when the paint cut goes on, that I'm going to see a big difference. When does your weather typically start to change there? So it's probably going to be around October time, I'd say, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it will probably start cooling down a little bit then, I hope. I mean, by then, you know, we're pretty much kind of rattling this one down, and we might be thinking about, you know, starting another project. Yeah, but bodyworking in this heat's always been a problem, and I'm not entirely sure how the paint's going to flow yet. I've got a feeling that I might have to do something with the ratio and also the hardener, because I've got a feeling with the panel being so hot, it's going to flash off too fast. And it's almost like oven baking the car before you're painting it instead of afterwards. So it's going to be a bit tricky. I may even have to paint it in the middle of the night or do something crazy like that, just so the temperature of the workshop's down.
Yeah, everyone kind of starts their day at 5 o'clock here, don't
they?
Yeah,
it's a bit strange. I've never had to have this kind of, in the UK it's kind of, you can understand the weather, but it's extreme in Japan. It's jumping all over the place, humidity and heat, and it's just no good for bodyworking, and it's no good for people.
Yeah, definitely. Donald says the original Beta looks to have been 1956 due to the heater outlets being further forward. Is that the year you believe it to be?
So I'm not entirely sure what year this was. What year did he think it was?
1956.
Okay, so this probably went through an auction because it had some glass chalk on there, and they've actually put VW truck on there, and they have put a year on there. It says 55. I thought it was a little bit earlier, but if it's a 55/56 model, you've got it bang on.
Donald knows his stuff.
But interestingly enough, it being a mid-50s car, the back end of the international traveller was at. But yeah, great guess. I mean, that's got to be it.
I think it's amazing when people can just see a car and know.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, although I've spent all my time around, since I was a kid around Volkswagens and stuff like that, I've never been the one that could supply the info. I've got friends that are amazing at this. There's a guy called Phil that I know that you can show him a Volkswagen part or a part number and he can tell you exactly what it came off, how long it was used for, and all those kind of things. And yeah, it's quite interesting because I've never been really interested in what year a vehicle is or the rarity of it. It's just kind of, there you go, there's the car, you fix it, here's the parts. And I'm learning every day, and it's actually quite fascinating, the changes that they've done, the tiny little changes as well over the years. The Volkswagen has not stayed the same, and they've done some tiny little changes. It's constantly evolving.
So Woody Wood says that's a cool project, and Punto says, is there any particular colour that's easier to paint or match up when you're spraying a vehicle?
Yes, white.
Oh, is it? That's my favourite.
Just white. If you're from the UK, you'll notice there's a lot of white transit vans. And from a distance, a white transit van, the white van man, they always look quite clean when you get up close. And they're smashed to pieces and they're all, they look horrible. But from a distance, they look great. And it's the way the light reflects off the white colour. And white's really easy to blend in and fix and things like that. So white being the easiest colour in my mind works really well, and the hardest colour being black, and that's not including things like pearl paints. And if you could get like a 3-stage pearl paint system, and it can be very difficult to match up. So I tend to not go down that road. I don't mind metallics. Metallics can be pretty cool, but yeah, easiest colour is white, not pearl white, just a solid white colour, and the hardest colour, I think, for something like BedBug with its long panels is going to be gloss black.
And we'll just say goodnight to Brad because he said he can't wait till the next video. Thank you for all your comments and tuning in,
thanks,
Brad.
Brad, and we'll see you soon. We'll drop another video, hopefully, for the weekend.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us.
And Stephen Dodd says, how many cars do you have?
How many cars do I have? So in Japan currently,
There's 3. Shall I?
there's 3, isn't it? There's Spacia.
Oh, that's our normal car, isn't
It's a
it?
normal car.
This-
So we've got the
What's this one? 1967.
we've got the 67 1 year only still just sat here doing absolutely nothing. We kind of need to finish at some point. So we need to get our arse in gear of this one. I've still got. It's still how I've left it inside there. I've got a load of parts to go on there. But this is one that's been full body off restoration. We did a full body off resto on this one. And it's insanely original. I've never seen anything like it. I took it apart thinking that I'd have to do a lot of work, but this car has even got its original heater channels, original bulkhead panels, even down to what looked like original wings. And yeah, it's insanely original. It had so much bad paint over the top. It kind of encapsulated it. It's like a fossil. But yeah, that's quite a rare car that we'd love to get back on the road. We do have a problem with the engine. It was in pieces. Somebody else has disassembled it and taken most of the parts away. So I'm not entirely sure what parts of the engine I can use yet, and I haven't found a machine shop. So, ideally I'd get it a line board, replace the bearings, and then refit the engine parts, find some new valves and pistons, but it's not that easy. What I might end up doing is just measuring the case, seeing if I can get away with, what are the bearings. It might even be original, as with the rest of the car. So we do need an engine still, and little things like you know, running boards and bits and pieces like that. An interior, still need to do the interior on there, but as a whole, this car is almost a car shape again, so that's pretty exciting stuff. The other car we've got is a Daihatsu Mirror Turbo, which I don't know if you can see, that's up there. That was purchased from a scrapyard, and originally it had been picked up but with straps on the roof, and it bent the roof, and a forklift truck underneath, so it bent all the underneath. And it had a little crash, the front, the back, the sides. It wasn't very nice, but we did get out together, we got it running, we got it painted, and it got to the fitting up stage, and that has stalled because of this pickup. So I would like to get the mirror just finished off, even if it is just putting the interior back in there. And even down to the wheels, did source another set of wheels, reconditioned them, they're just waiting for tyres. So it's so close to being completely done, but then so is the Beetle. So I need to really think about it. With, you know, any profits that I make off BedBug, I would like to invest into, you know, one of these cars, probably the Beetle, get that one rattled off, and then at least we can see that up and together. That'd be absolutely great. Yeah, it's so close, isn't it?
This portrait mode is much better because the comments don't disappear. So
Okay.
we'll use that now, I think. Do you bodywork over bare metal?
No. In the past, I have done bare metal, no problems. I personally had no problems with applying filler fiberglass over bare metal surfaces, and that's going to make a lot of you cringe. And I did that for absolute years, no problems. I never bodyworked over rust. I'd always either cut the rusted section out or put some kind of treatment down. But what I've been doing recently is I use a product which is a rust inhibitor primer to go on first. Then I put my fiberglass or body filler over the top. Then I would put the primer on there. If I have a panel that's absolutely straight, that hardly needs any filler, and it's bare metal, then I'll go ahead and put something like an epoxy or a non-chromium primer on there first that will adhere to the bare metal. Then on top of that kind of primer finish, I can then do the bodywork. Then on top of that, I put the primer, so it's almost like a sandwich. And that's pretty much what I did to the 67. Actually, that's got a primer over the bare metal on most of it. Areas that were quite small or kind of rub through, I've actually got a primer which it has a rust inhibitor in as well, which is great, just in a rattle can like a single part. But the rest of it has been done with 2-pack primers, lots of products, and yeah, so generally I don't go straight over bare metal with filler. But that's totally up to you. What you do with your filler is up to you. If you speak to a really old-fashioned body guy, they will say there's no problems with that at all, you know, but as these new products are coming out, there's a lot of guys now that say you can't do that. The moisture in these products, like a filler, can actually accelerate the rust behind, so you don't know what's going on. Next thing you know, you have a bubble appear, and underneath is rust. So yeah, but that's totally up to you the way you do it. The way I'm doing it is I'm doing everything I can to prevent the rust, and that's as good as I can get it.
Sorry, I missed Garth's comment. He said hello.
Oh, hello.
And Jim says, you do great metalwork in body repairs. You rely a bit on fillers for tiny imperfections. What is your thoughts on no filler car bodywork?
Love it. I love no filler car bodywork, but unfortunately for most people it is unrealistic. When I was, you know, building Beetles and buses, there was always an element in your head that to get something straight you will be using body fillers, and this is time. It really is to do with time and the customer's budget. If you were doing a total fillerless bodywork and you're using you know, hammers, dollies, slappers and the rest of it, and you're making a panel totally flat and lovely, it takes forever. It takes a very long time, and this, if you're doing it for somebody else, the bill will just go like that, and it will take a very long time. If you're doing it for yourself, yeah, great, allow yourself a huge amount of time, and you do need quite a bit of skill to do this as well. But what I tend to do is I remove anything that is, you know, any high spots, low spots, anything that's really bad, and I don't mind leaving tiny imperfections that I can remove with body filler. But if I didn't do it this way, this project BedBug, for example, it wouldn't take months to build, it would take years if I was going to do it. So yeah, so it's horses for courses. That's what it's about.
Woody says, what filler do you like?
So at the moment, when I was in the UK, there was loads of brands of filler, loads of trade stuff you could buy. There was no problem. I never had a bad filler. But what I started doing in the UK is I started using a filler that was in different stages. You had a heavy, a medium, and a light filler. So a heavy one would be, it's like cement, and the medium one flowed really nice, maybe with a couple of pinholes, and the fine one was just insanely smooth. It just went on like cream. It was amazing. So it super flowed, really easy to sand. And when I came to Japan, I found a similar product, which was in the stages, so heavy, medium, and fine, and also it was a non-shrinking filler, which is important to me because I wasn't too sure what the heat's going to do to the filler once it's been in the car for a while. There was a chance, in the UK I've seen filler drop and you end up with a car with dents years later, even though the car was totally straight when it left. So with an anti-shrink filler, it could possibly stop that happening. The product I'm using at the moment is this one here. That one there says 120, so that one there is the medium one. Comes in a generous size pot as well, like that there. I don't know if something like this is available in you know, where you're from, but this is what I'm using at the moment, and it's a 3-stage filler, and also it's anti-shrink, so that's pretty important to me. And it seems to work pretty well. The only problem I've got is temperature. It's not designed to be used in this kind of heat, but interestingly enough, these kind of fillers are available in the summer and winter, and I've got a feeling that this is possibly a normal one. Sorry, summer,
it's in between,
normal,
isn't it?
and winter. And what I really need is a summer. Whether it's the product inside the can that changes or whether it's the hard nut, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do some research. But if I struggle, I might end up changing it. And but at the moment, yeah, that's what I'm using.
Punto says, looking forward to seeing the mirror finished.
Yeah.
And then there's Miguel from Los Angeles. Where do you buy your engine parts, being that you're in Japan? I just bought a Bradley GT, looking forward to working on my first bug platform project.
Right, so he's in the States then. So if you're in the States, I don't think there'll be many problems getting hold of Volkswagen parts. What we got? Flat 4's in Japan and also in America, so that's a good company to deal with. We've dealt with a company called, we've dealt with Flat 4, and there's another one called My Bows, or My Boys, I don't know, it's spelled B-O-W-S, but I don't know if it's supposed to be My Bows. Bows, and both of those companies supply all Volkswagen stuff, including engine parts and things like that. But also, on the build on the 67, I have been getting parts from the UK, and I haven't quite started doing the engine type stuff on the 67, but I have been getting prices of parts from the UK. They are actually cheaper to buy the engine parts in the UK and get them sent over still. So yeah, it's there are places out there, but I think that they do tend to, you know, because of the import charges and everything else like that, the prices of Volkswagen parts are a lot more expensive in Japan.
Miguel says, thank you. And Donald says, the car had bullet front turn signals that the owner had you remove.
Yeah, you remember that, yeah.
Those were USA only. So was the car imported to Japan from the USA?
Ah, you're right. They were US spec bullet indicators, and I like them. But the customer wanted to go for this kind of standard model with one horn grille and not have those bullet indicators. And yes, this was imported from America, so it's been around, this car, hasn't it? It wasn't originally built in America, it was modified in America, and then it was shipped over to Japan. So yeah, interesting stuff.
Some of these cars must have so much history.
Especially when it's a German car.
Yeah.
And it ends up in the States, but then ends up in Japan. But yeah, so it totally explains why it's got an American back end on this car, because it's from America. So yeah, he's totally right about the bullet indicators.
Jim says, what unique challenges do you experience with the gasless MIG flux core welder versus a MIG welder or even TIG welder in automotive bodywork?
Right. So when it comes to gas MIG welding, just MIG welding in general, it's kind of like an industry standard in the UK. All garages will have a MIG welder, and you'll be using, you know, CO2 or an argon mixed gas with it. I used to use an 8mm wire, and I used to pretty much weld everything just with this one machine. And when it comes to MIG welding, I must have used a MIG welder for 20 years, I think. So it's not, yeah, so I did have a bit of experience. When it came to Japan, I went out and I tried to buy a MIG welder. I couldn't get one. They had machines that had separate wire spools. I didn't know where to get the gas from. It was all a bit of a headache. I went out and bought a very cheap gasless MIG. And it's called a gasless MIG, but it's not anything to do with the word MIG. I was corrected in this before because the IG is inert gas. But it's a gasless welder, and it uses a flux core wire, no gas, and it creates... The weld you can get is good, but it's not as nice as a MIG welder. It doesn't flow as nice. There is a lot of splatter, and there is a lot of sparks and spray. It's a messy thing, but it's ridiculously cheap. I mean, the welder I bought must be, say, £100, and I'd say a garage welder in the UK, I'd probably be looking at about £500, plus I need the gas bottle rental, plus there's everything else that's involved. But the tips, the wire, the welder itself is ridiculously cheap, and so far I've managed to do 3 projects with one Chinese welder, and I'm absolutely astonished that it can actually work that well. If you're starting out welding, buy yourself a gasless one, nice and cheap, have a go. If you don't get on with it, you haven't wasted too much money. Don't go out and start buying a massive MIG welder setup. If you get on with it and you get good at using a gasless, you use a gas MIG and you will be awesome. You will absolutely be awesome because you've learned the hard way. So yeah, that's what my advice would be. If you fancy welding a car up, buy yourself a gasless one first. Then if you get into it and you start, you know, really doing more jobs, then definitely get a MIG.
I think we'll do about, I'm going to sound very Japanese when I say this, about 7 more minutes.
7 minutes and what, 27 seconds?
2 seconds.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. We were actually talking about, just if anyone's got any more questions, we're going to just do about 7 more minutes. We were talking about the other day, there's the other challenge that we had when we came to Japan and looking for your workshop was it the voltage?
Yeah, this is strange. In Japan, it's 100 volts, and so if you have a workshop and you're using, you know, larger tools, you're looking at 200 volts. So originally, when we were looking, we needed a workshop with almost like dual voltage. We needed 200 volts and we needed 100 volts. And the workshop we're in used to be a little factory. It used to be some kind of press factory, and I'm not entirely sure what that meant, whether it was kind of like a newspaper press or pressing of products, but it's got outlets all the way around, and it runs 200 volts and 100 volts. So no matter what I've got, I can wire it up accordingly. So I did buy a whopping great compressor, 200 volts, so I could wire that up 200 volts. Things like angle grinders and, you know, drills and things, 100 volts, and things like the gasless MIG welder, that is actually 100 volts or 200 volts, so it's switchable, so it's great. So if you do come over to Japan, you start buying tools and stuff thinking you can start a workshop, just be in the back of your head, you may have to get another line put in for 200 volts, just so you've got that extra bit of juice. Even if I go for something like a 2-post ramp in here or something like that, I will need that extra power. 100 volts isn't enough.
The majority of the houses, they don't have it, do they? So we were really lucky.
Yeah, majority of the houses, they are pretty much wired for 100 volts. But I think they are They are wired for 200 sometimes, depending on the size of the AC units. I mean, we've got some aircon units in the house that run on 200 volts, but we have got a separate fuse box for that.
They put that in though when we came, didn't they? It wasn't originally there.
So yeah, you do need to. There's a bit something weird going on with the electricity, and also there's frequency and hertz. They differ from where you are across Japan, so equipment works differently. I think a lot of tools nowadays they can work on both. But yeah, just something else to bear in mind with if you decide to buy an old telly from one side of Japan, it might not work. It might not work the other side of Japan, depending where you are and who your electricity supplier is.
Jim says, brilliant, mate. I'm so impressed with the quality work. You've shown the skills of individual matter more than the tools. And this is a really good question that Punto's asking. Is there any garage tools or equipment you'd like to get or are getting for the workshop?
Oh, do you know what? I've got a whole list of tools in my head that I want to get. I mean, first of all, I need a MIG welder. I really do. And then what I need is maybe something like a sheet metal bender, but a really long one. I really want a shrinker stretcher tool, which are great. They've just got, it's just a hand operated tool, which allows me to shrink or stretch metal, so you can actually curve metal really nicely, or you can bend it the other way, and it's just so insanely good. I also want, God, this is going to go on forever. What was the other thing I wanted? I wanted a bead roller. That was another thing. I love putting those rolled beads into panels. I think they create an extra bit of strength and they look amazing as well. But as well as that, you can put steps in the sides of panels and things. A bead roller, it's relatively cheap. But if I buy a bead roller, I'll probably need a vise to put it in. I don't even have a vise, so I'll buy a vise as well. So yeah, when Christmas comes, hopefully Santa will be having quite a heavy truck full of stuff.
What did he bring last time? An ice cream van for our little one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He bought a little ice cream van for our little one, but unfortunately nothing for the workshop that I could utilise. But yeah, I've got loads of tools in my head that I want to buy, and I can only think that in the future it just means that these builds will be better and it makes things a little bit easier. But the great thing is, starting from absolutely nothing, is people across the world that are doing this kind of stuff at home that don't want to invest into massive expensive tools or don't have the money to, you can still fix a car. I mean, obviously the quality is not going to be as good, but you've given it a go and you've done it with hardly any tools, and you do get a sense of satisfaction. It's not something that you bought off the shelf, you've got someone else to do, you've done it yourself, and just have a go and have fun and be proud of what you've done. So,
and also, you think of tools as you go along, don't you? Sometimes when you come across something, then you think, oh, I need to get this.
That's right. I do generally buy tools when I need them. I would have loved to have gone out and just bought every single tool that I needed, but it's just not possible. So if I do need a tool, for example, a pillar drill, or even that riv nut tool that I used the other day, I would buy it.
Thank you, Miguel.
As I was using it.
Miguel just sent some dollars over.
I didn't even think you could do that. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Say cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, Miguel.
Well, that can go towards the tool fund.
Oh, bless you. That's really kind.
Nice one. Thank you very much.
Donald, did you ever figure out where the rear fender was originally from, or did I miss that?
Oh, yeah, we did. From the very start, nobody kind of got this one right. I had no idea. I knew it was something American. It's actually off a international travel all, and it's kind of almost like an estate wagon in America. So the back part from the door backwards actually is the whole side of an international travel, probably from the mid-50s. I did Google it and it was coming up with all different types of years. I mean, to be honest, I never really knew about the company International. I thought they were mainly trucks, but they did do some cool cars back in the day, and it looks identical to what I've got. Slightly modified, but it's still, if you look at the photo of an international traveller, it does look very similar. So yeah, we did discover where it came from.
And RC says, hello from New York. Cheers.
Oh!
That's going to become a little thing.
Cheers.
I think we can, because I think I need to have a drink now. So I think it's almost an hour. So
yeah, we've had fun.
Thank you so much, Miguel, and best of luck with your project as well. And if you if you need any more advice or anything, just we've put our Instagram and account so you can message us. But that's really, really kind of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we've had fun today.
Yeah, it's been nice catching up with everyone.
It's really good to speak to you guys and just talk just totally random. It doesn't necessarily have to be cars. It can be life, it can be weather, it can be absolutely anything. That's what these lives are going to be about. When we talk about car stuff and maybe a little bit of Japanese culture, we'll put the long play videos on there, and obviously the builds for the cars. But yeah, it's just been fun just doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's been lovely. It's kind of nice to check in. We weren't too sure about today's one because the little one's not been well, so we couldn't schedule it. But we've done a little bit of a spontaneous one.
Very spontaneous, and it's worked. It's been fun. Yeah.
So maybe, hopefully, next week, all being well, we'll do another one. We just have to see, don't we? It's a bit unpredictable with the little
for
one.
us, lives are a bit new. We would like to drop them in every now and then. It's always good to catch up with you guys, and I love your ideas, especially when it comes to projects. And the comments that I've been getting on the long play videos have been amazing. People having their own opinions and commenting on what I'm doing is really important to me because everybody's different. You can't please everybody, but it's really good to get ideas from you guys and tips that I can possibly use on future builds. So yeah, really chuffed with that as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's great.
You're going to do your cheers.
Yeah,
thank you so much for all the comments, and thank you again,
Thanks
Miguel.
for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.